I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Okay, hold on. Stand by here, folks. Sorry about the craziness. Hey, I just sent you something in the group. Look at it, but don't say anything about it. Okay. Well, hello there. Breathe. Everything will be okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hope you guys are doing okay. I just thought I had to. All right, welcome. Let's try to do that again. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 481st episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey, and we're here. It is Thursday, July 3rd, 2025. We are just a couple of hours away from probably one of what's always been my most favorite holidays of all time, July 4th, being that I am a July birthday, so it's always been cool. I've always liked that the 4th of July was in my birth month. And give me a second. Hold on. I'm trying to fix stuff. We've got a bunch of crazy people that apparently I work with all of a sudden. I don't know how to do anything or tell anybody anything or know how to operate anything. Hold on. So something went wrong. Let me see what went wrong. This page isn't available. Oh, there we are. Okay. So, yeah, right. It says because if you look up there, Catherine, look up there. It says that it's got the lock to where it's only you. Every time I go in and fix this, and as soon as I fix it, you apparently turn it back to only you for some reason. I do not understand it. And unfortunately, now that we're live, it can't be fixed until after the show. So you can't fix it. It can't be fixed. There's no way to fix it until after the show. So that's done. Let me go back here and do this. Stand by. We're doing a whole bunch of housekeeping shit. Oh, no. And Jesus. Be with me. Hold on. Stand by here. I'm going to try to share this link to Catherine's page the right way. Give me a second here. Go in here and do this. Here's the link. Or click on. Ta-da! Now we got it. Now go look at your thing again. And we got to figure that out once for all. We got to get that figured out. All right. We'll try this for the third time. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Political Spotlight. I'm your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. This is the 481st episode of the show. We are without Kate. That's kind of the chaos. Thought Kate was going to be here and found out that she's not here last moment. So we're doing some things behind the scenes. But we will have Katherine on here in a minute to people's happiness or their horror, either one. It's been a minute, so we've got some things to talk about. We've got some water things to talk about from Delaware County. Some things going on with Prairie Creek Reservoir that people are all up in arms about. So we'll be talking about that. There are some things going on with Alexandria that people should be all up in arms about. And amazingly, it's dirty water. And I'm starting to think back to when we had Bree on a couple months ago when we were talking about the Superfund sites and all of the craziness going on. I'm starting to think very much like bad politicians and bad government officials. I'm starting to think that we have bad water everywhere. Look, we didn't even have the ticker running at the bottom. Good Lord. So we're going to pull up our contributing correspondent from Madison County, Dr. Katherine Callahan.
Because I am the All-American.
Yeah, somebody mentioned something about that earlier. About that. Somebody said
want all
those
veterans, all those active duty people to know how much we appreciate our independence.
Absolutely.
Wear it with pride.
Yes. Yeah. So welcome. I saw that you guys popped on. I forget her name. What's her name? Lisa?
Lisa. She's out camping tonight, so she could not join us. I did offer, but I don't think she has internet where she's at tonight. So hopefully the Wyckoffs are watching tonight. I know they don't have Facebook, and that they will be able to see that we will keep fighting for justice until it is served. I just want everybody to know that it's not easy being me. It's not easy being you.
Or
it's not
green.
Easy being a person who speaks the truth. And that is what is very difficult. And I wish more people would do it, because I would be happy to share it with anybody. And today has been an interesting chain of events. I had no idea it would have unfolded the way it has. So let me just, do you want to just jump in, or what do you want to do?
We can't jump in the water. It's like poisonous.
Well, people are bathing in it.
Go ahead. Brenda says Newcastle water is brown right now. See, the water, here's the thing. The only thing I do in the water, in water in my house, is periodically wash dishes. And what I will do is I run the water for a good period of time before I start. I will take a shower and I run the water for a good period of time before I get in it. The only thing I don't run the water for is washing my clothes, and that's probably bad, but I haven't noticed anything. But I don't drink tap water ever. I would never drink tap water. I always drink bottled water. So where I'm at, I'm technically just out kind of just just a little nudge into the county, but I am on city water. So I haven't specifically noticed anything crazy, but I hear people bitching about Muncie water all the time, but we're hearing now Newcastle water is brown. I've not noticed any bad coloration,
So,
but
here's what's happened, and shame on so many of these elected officials. And here's the thing: if you don't like the heat, I don't know what to tell you. You guys ran for this, you volunteered for it, and in some of the places in Madison County, you even cheated for it. So I don't even care. So if we want to take the gloves off, we can take the gloves off. I have no problem with that. At the end of the day, if you guys are smelling chlorine, you're smelling sulfur, you're smelling stuff from your water. Well, you know why? Because they're dumping crap in there to cover up what's really in there. I mean, that's just the bottom line of how that works. Okay.
sure.
It's like the person who doesn't wash their rear end and then they lather themselves in some heavy cologne. Come on. Soap is cheap. Get it on. That's just the reality of it. I'm tired of this. After what I have heard this afternoon since we have aired that live video, I am so disgusted. I don't even know where to begin.
So I think probably what we should do is show some clips from that video real quick,
okay,
so people who haven't seen can see it.
That clip has gotten almost 10,000 views already.
Yeah,
and it's got almost 90 shares, so it's good.
Tweety Bird, while I would agree with you at one point in time, because I'm definitely a child of that age where we did that era, I would not recommend that nowadays. I specifically, matter of fact, even when I lived in Winchester, I remember my stepkids would be out in the yard and tried doing that a couple times, and I was like, I don't know that I would do that. And that's really heartbreaking because I grew up doing that, and there was nothing better than water coming from the end of a hose. It was the best cold water, kind of that copper taste, and it was amazing. Matter of fact, I'll be honest, I've kind of been like a junkie, been chasing that water. I love water. I drink water. If you would, for being a big guy, you would be shocked. I probably drink 12 to 15 bottles of water a day. I drink a lot of water.
Know that you're supposed to drink half your body weight in fluid ounces?
I'm pretty damn
close.
If you
weigh 100 pounds like me, then you are supposed to drink 50 fluid ounces of water, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, that's how it is. That's what my driver's license says. I don't know what the problem here is.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. But I've been chasing that water taste forever. But you never can get it. But I definitely wouldn't be drinking out of the hose.
The video is a great video, and I hate to chop the video up because I think what's even more entertaining with this live video are the comments that are coming at the bottom of it.
Yeah, I will leave those up, and we'll kind of pause and read from the side here and pull this up. So I was, yes, I know you're kidding now. I mean, at one point it was good, but yeah, no, I'm aware. So I didn't know they were doing this. I was just thumbing through.
Well, I want everybody, let's all back up here a minute. I called Kristopher probably 10 times. He wouldn't answer my phone.
Today?
Yes.
You didn't call me today, not once.
Calling you.
You did not call me one time today.
Oh, really?
You did not call me one time today.
Do you want to go there with me?
I do.
Okay. Well, let's see here.
Oh.
Are you looking for me, Kristopher?
Yes.
Yeah. How many times was that?
I don't see you calling me one time. I called you.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have you one time on my call list. I'm being serious.
Well, let me help you out here. 1439, 1439, 1445, 1445, 1453. Yeah, I mean, I could show you a whole log, but if I showed people this, you'd just die of my phone logs. Yes, that's I kept calling you over and over again because I was wanting you to come out and do this. And this just tells you how it goes. I mean, I just I get ignored by Kristopher and sent to silent.
No, did it go to voicemail?
Nope, it rang and rang, and then it went to voicemail. I mean,
well, that's something weird because I'm not joking. Like, I don't have you not one time.
Yes,
That's
I was
strange.
calling you over and over. And
so yeah, why were you calling me over and over?
So I was calling you because we had this report.
Okay.
So
what report did you have?
Do you have a copy of the report?
I don't.
Maybe we should start with the report first. I want everybody to see this report.
Well, since we're just kind of continuing to fall through this ass backwards, let me ask you, should we start with the report that Alexandria put out the other day from HML?
Well, if you want to go to the city of Alexandria, somebody said they made a post today, so we could go to the city of Alexandria.
Yeah, let's do that first.
I agree with you, Joe Black. I believe he gave me the wrong number too. I think he silences me when he goes to bed at night and then he forgets to turn me back on. So
yeah,
that's all right. Yes, he did ghost me. There you go. You ghosted me.
Yes. So June 30th, which was a couple of days ago, but it was after the last time Katherine was on. See, okay, so back up a little bit further. Last time Katherine was on, she brought up a situation where Katherine didn't make the post, but someone on Katherine's timeline on her Facebook page had made a post claiming that they had taken their small child, 4-month-old child, to the doctor, to the hospital, and that the child had possibly tested positive for E. coli. And now this was not a claim that Katherine was making. It wasn't a claim that I was making. It was just a Facebook post of somebody in Alexandria who posted it on there, and their friends were sharing it. You know, I don't think the mother was lying. I think something was wrong with the child. She took her to the hospital, and something was going on. And so we just brought that up and said, hey, look, this is something that they're talking about. And Katherine even said, when we said, like, we need to look into this and see if we can prove this. If we can prove this, it'll be big, yada, yada, yada. So after we did that.
But be careful with your water in the meantime. That's all I said.
Yeah, just be careful, you know. So the next day, the city of Alexandria blew up. Like, they started going on their page and posting a lot of stuff, yada, yada, yada. Well, then on June 30th, the city of Alexandria made the following post. And I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to pull up the lab thing. So it says, follow up to Friday's statement regarding water supply, water quality. The sample taken Friday on site of the reported exposure tested absent for E. coli or coliform. This indicates the continued microbiological safety of the drinking water supplied by the city. The absence of E. coli confirms compliance with the Indiana Department of Environmental Protection, IDEM, maximum contaminant level MCL standards for the microbial contaminants. We will be performing another test for this contaminant later in the week. We will convey that result when available. Thank you to everyone who bestowed kindness upon us as we walked through this together. Darcy A. Van Urim, city clerk for the city of Alexandria. And I just want to say this real quick. If anybody's out there that's watching this from Muncie or Delaware County, and they're like, what? This kind of sounds like what's going on with Prairie Creek. We will get to Prairie Creek in just a bit, but this is what was going on. So then what they did was they shared a test result from a lab, and the lab is here in Muncie. And it's HML. This is a lab that I know well. I know people who've worked for this lab company and have done things with this lab company, and that's who they took this test to. And so they put this up there. Hoosier Microbiological Laboratory is the name of it. It's on McGalliard, and they put this forward, and it says, look, it says here, satisfactory at examination time. This water was biologically safe based on U.S. EPA standards. And so they put that up there.
Now, I'm very confused about this report because there's been a lot of controversy about this report, just so everybody knows. Some people say it wasn't taken from the young lady's home where she lives. It was actually taken from like the apartment next to it or a house next to it or the landlord. I'm not really sure. So this is kind of an interesting comment. I know that for those of you who have been following along, this is the same place the Wyckoffs took theirs, and then somebody got on some bandwagon on the Wyckoffs report because they misspelled Madison, like the S is before the I. Okay, like give me a rest, people. Like it's a simple typo. I don't know why anybody would think, oh, this is an altered report. It's just the dumbest stuff. And you know, when I start to go research some of these people, they're the biggest jack-offs, and I'm going to say it, to the elected officials. They're like always out there protecting these elected officials because they're usually getting something from these elected officials.
Oh, they were saying on this test, like on one of the tests that the Wyckoffs did, that okay.
Right there where it says County Madison, it was, you know, SI instead. Okay, give me a break. You know, it's, and so, and I want to bring the other attention to anybody who listened to the conversation between Stephanie Mellinger and I. You know, Stephanie Mellinger is saying to me, so you took the reports, the Wyckoffs actually went to a state lab? Yes, it right here. It's a state. I don't know where, at some point, the elected officials need to get control of themselves because quite frankly, I'm over you talking about my education. I'm over you talking about, I don't know what I'm doing or what I'm saying. I'm done with it. Okay. I went to school. I have a doctorate's degree. If you don't like it, you know what? Go get your own doctorate's degree. I don't really care. But at the end of the day, I think I've put out a lot more information that supports the people and that is accurate than the bullshit I have to continue to listen to the elected officials, starting with Dr. Green, who wants to say he's the one that has the real doctorates. Well, if you got a real doctorate, Dr. Green, why aren't you out here actually helping these people? You know the hazards. No, instead, yes, I am a nurse. I am a doctorate prepared nurse. Instead, it is the nurse who is out there doing the work, just like we do every day in the hospitals. So let's all just regroup here. And if you want to go toe to toe with me, put me at the podium. I don't mind.
It's the
let's
same
get it
thing.
on.
It's the same thing where people like it's like when somebody. It's the same thing. Like there were steps. There was a while that you were an RN and doing that, and then you went through for further education, and you decided to go further. It's like somebody being a cop and then deciding to go to law school and being an attorney. You can decide to do different things along your journey, and the fact that you ended up at the same place, it floors me that people don't understand that, or they make that such a big pissing match out of that. It's crazy. It ends up at the same place. And furthermore, it doesn't truly matter because you weren't the one mixing these. You took the sample and you took it to the laboratory. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to take this to HML and let them do it. That's what kills me.
And that's the whole thing. And so if you look on there, you're on the City of Alexandria, can you pull up their water report? It would have been posted right about this time for the City of Alexandria. And I'm going to show everybody, what my doctorates actually gained me. Okay. When I pulled up this report and I noticed this, and I talked with a lot of people in Alexandria, you see this Alexandria water report. It's only as good as the paper it's written on.
Sure.
Does everybody understand what I'm saying to you? Okay. It's like a resume. You can make it look grand. You can make it look like you're unbelievable, but you don't actually know what's going on until you get there. So go to the second page. The second page is what's critical. Down here at the bottom of that page, I want everybody to pay attention. Down there at the page, you know what's wrong with the testing of the water? It's all coming from the well. Right?
Yeah.
So the well might be just fine. But what happens when the water travels? What happens to it? If you contaminate the earth, if you contaminate the environment, if the pipes are no longer good, if there's stuff in the pipes, that is where the contamination comes from. Okay. So this is a problem. Anybody who is looking at this report should be saying, wait a minute, you're doing it at the beginning, but what happens when it travels? Here's a perfect example. You go to the car wash. It's perfectly clean. You travel 10 miles home and bugs hit it. It's the same thing, people. You cannot absolutely just say, hey, our wells are tested. It's good. These pipes haven't been attended to for a long time. Some need to be repaired. Some need to be replaced. Some are old. Some are copper. Who knows? But what I'm telling you is that the tests are only as good as the paper it's written on. Just like the collection. The collection is only as good as the collector. Okay? Now, here's what I'm going to say to everybody. I have had it with IDEM. I have had it with the EPA. I have had it with OSHA. I have had it with the elected officials. I am up to here and beyond. You are harming the people. Every one of you. Every one of you plays a role in misleading and hurting the people.
Yeah.
Understand this. IDEM, shame on you. You should be fining Madison County and those commissioners thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Does it come from the taxpayers? You bet you it comes from the taxpayers. But you know what? I'd rather pay those fines and get somebody some clean water than to watch somebody get their road paved or a clock tower get redone.
Yeah.
Or a historical building that has no value to it and they don't even know what they're going to do it. This is the problem. IDEM, you are not part of the solution. You are part of the problem.
Oh, yes.
You are not fighting for the people as you should be. And this in itself is a problem. At the end of the day, people, the only way this is going to work is for the people to take it back. No one is coming to save us. No one.
Yes.
Okay? We must save ourselves. And the only way to do that is to come together. There's more of us than there are of them. And so when you look at these reports, you need to be more critical of them. I don't believe any of the reports that are being put out anymore. None of them. And they may say, and this is what's coming back from IDEM and everybody else. Well, did you collect the sample correctly?
Wait, hold on. You're getting ahead.
Okay.
Hold on. Because that didn't happen first. So with all that stuff happening, then Lisa, who, if you guys watched, I don't know if it was the last time we were on or the time before Lisa was on. She was the
time before,
the silver-haired lady that was on with the Wyckoffs, the husband and wife that were on, and we had them on, and she was the one that's fired up. She was the one that recorded Rick Gardner, and he was giving her a little bit of crap, and so she's out there. So she decided she wanted to test her water at her location, and she went.
Well, she was pretty upset about what happened to this young child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she
lives in the same city.
We got to talking, and and we talked, and I said, the cheapest way to do this is just to buy a home kit.
Mm-hmm.
If the home kit is positive, then I would go on and do further testing. So I've had several people call me and do that. Now, another lady, she's on a well. She's in a different direction. She tested it and her home kit was negative. She asked me what else she should do. I said, you should stop. I think you'll be okay because it's her own well. Now, when Lisa's was positive, she called me. I want to say she called me either Monday or Tuesday morning. And I said to her, she wanted to post it right away. I said, no, you can't post that because they're going to say this isn't a state test. And that's exactly the first thing that Stephanie Mellinger said to me when we were going at it in the exhibit building. Well, did you use a state lab? Yeah. Absolutely. Then she said, so you took the samples out of why would I take the samples out of the yard?
Yeah,
I took it from the sink.
They're not drinking out of the yard, you idiot.
Okay. Now and so that's the whole thing. So I told Lisa, you're going to have to go get this from a state lab. She was going to go down to Indianapolis and get it. But the Indiana State Department of Health, what people need to know, that's a $10 test.
Yeah.
That $10 test is a binary test. Does everybody understand what that means? What a binary test is, it just means it's positive or negative. It's like a pregnancy test, positive or negative. It's not qualitative where it tells you like how bad the water is or anything like that. So we decided to go with the lab in Muncie. Now that's a $35 test. That's a lot of money for some people. That's a $35, and that's a qualitative test. And that test gives you the actual numbers. And if you remember, the Wyckoffs use the same lab in Muncie.
Yeah.
Their coliform was greater than 200. from the sink, and then I think from the bathroom it might have been greater than 38. But their E. coli was negative on both of those, which I thought was strange, but it just is what it is. But no matter what, coliform and E. coli are very similar. They both can cause harm, depending on the level. So that's the thing. What do we want the numbers to be? We want them to be less than 1. That's what we want to do. So Lisa runs around. She has to go get it. I want people to understand, they provide you with the container to put the water in.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're doing this. They give you instructions of how you collect it. Okay. So that's kind of what happens. So Lisa took it back up there yesterday. You get the results within 24 hours. She got the results back today. I was coming off work. I messaged her about, I don't know.
Wait. So we're kind of still speeding through it. So she went, for people who might be interested in doing this, she went to Menards and she bought a test. It was $8.
And you can get it off of Amazon. You can get it at Lowe's.
Yeah, there's lots of places you can get this. So she buys this for like $8. She gets the test. She does the test, whatever, and it comes back. So then she takes it to the lab, and that's what we're going to see today. And so Tweety Bird, what they're specifically testing for up here, specifically in Alexandria, is E. coli is what they're testing for. That's what the concern has been. And so what we're going to see here is what happened when she got the test results back from the state this laboratory that's certified and approved for by the state, HML, and this is what happened.
And we were testing for E. coli, Tweety Bird, and coliform.
Yeah, those two things.
Hey, Madison County, we're coming to you here from Alexandria, Indiana, where Lisa has been kind of running the show on trying to figure out what's going on with the water up here. As you know, just down the street here, we've been at the Wyckoffs, and the Wyckoffs have certainly had their fair share of problems with their water, with the E. coli, with all of those things. So Lisa took it upon herself as she's watched a lot of the people on Facebook, and she went ahead and she did some water testing. So she sent me a message the other morning, and she had a positive home test.
I
Right?
did a positive. I got this from Menards. It was $8. I took it from my kitchen sink. I live downtown Alexandria. I live off of Black Street. So it takes 24 hours to do. I did this on Monday evening. So Tuesday evening is when I got the test results back. So you did this on Monday, and how long did you have to wait? 24 hours.
So she had to wait 24 hours, and you did this off of Amazon?
No, I got this at Menards.
How much did it cost?
It was $8.
So it was $8. So this is where she started with, and then she called me, and she asked me if she could post those positive results, and I said, what the problem's going to be is they're going to say, do you have a state certified result? And that's where that's going to come in. So she took it upon herself, and then what did you do from there?
And so Wednesday morning, I took another water sample from my kitchen sink again, and I got the retest results back today. As you can see, it's from HML, which is where Alexandria had their water testing done. It's certified by this Indiana State Board of Health. Here's their certified lab ID number. This is the time that it was done. Here's my name, my address, my phone number. You can give me a call. Don't care. Place collected was my kitchen sink. Date collected was 7/2/2025. Here is the E. coli QT. It is greater than 200 MPNs for a 100 milliliter. And this is collected. Then it says total coliform QT is greater than 200. So there's no way that the city of Alexandria can say that there's not E. coli in our water, because I ran this test. I paid my $35. It's a legit test. So,
and it was done right up in Muncie.
And it was done in Muncie at the exact same place where the city of Alexandria had their water tested. And I think it was Wayne Street. I'm not positive exactly off the top of my head where Wayne Street's at, but it's also in Alexandria. And it's
so essentially she's doing the same thing that Alexandria claimed to have done last week, and she's getting quite a different test result, back. And so from this point, Katherine, what went on?
So we
again, tell her how much it was. It was 200.
It was greater than 200. You want to pull the actual, it's in your messenger. It's greater than 200, and you want it to be less than 1 for everybody who's paying attention. This is a big deal for any of us to go through, because I want people to understand, just because your water is clear and odorless does not mean it's safe. It does not mean that at all. That's why you should test things periodically. And, like Lisa was saying, she's got a strong chlorine smell to her water all the time. Her eyes burn when she showers. I mean, I haven't said this to Lisa, but now you know that your shower isn't really all that clean, that you're cleansing your body in. And what people need to understand is, and I've said this on the show before, our skin is our largest organ on our body. So it is important that we have clean water to bathe in. We are not a third world country. And why anybody would accept this, why anybody would say this is okay, no. Now, what happened from here is we kind of told people, where you can go get your water, how you, what you should do. We need probably 100 people to actually sample their water so we can get at least a decent sample size.
David Williams asked, do you know how many people have done this so far? Have there been an amount?
Here's number 1.
Oh, really? So
yeah. And so this is where it gets tricky. This is the slippery slope. So, but let me explain something to all of you, okay? This is how it works in the epidemiology world, okay? I'm going to talk about HIV patients, okay? We have patient 0 is what we have. That's what we started with, was patient 0. And I think it was like in Australia or something like that, patient 0. Once you have patient 0, you start connecting everybody that person was with. And then we got patient 1, 2, 3. And it has to start with someone, and it has to start with 1. And that's what's happened here. And that's why I'm saying we need a sample size. Now, David could argue, somebody could argue, well, 1 person, big whoop, maybe it's just her. It could be, right? Nobody's trying to set off fire alarms. Yeah. Nobody's trying to fearmonger. What people are saying is everyone has to get involved and all hands on deck. So now we've got the Wyckoffs. So could you say the Wyckoffs are ground zero? Well, they're not taking the city utilities. So they're ground zero for the commissioners. That they're patient 0. Now you've got to get people in the Scotts Phillips edition to start getting on board and getting their water tested. And then that supports the Wyckoffs. Now, Lisa's in the town, so she's on city utilities. So now she's going to have to gather people from her town to test that. Now, we're in for a fight, people. I will just tell you this. The gaslighting that is being done to Lisa already since she's aired this is unbelievable. So what has happened now is they're saying to Lisa, we want to come out and test your water. Okay.
Who's saying that?
Well, IDEM wants to come. I don't know who got a hold of IDEM, but IDEM got a hold of Lisa. And
okay, real quick before we launch into that, I want to show everybody. Okay. This is her test. This was Lisa's test. Okay, so everybody sees that we're not, this is not something, because you couldn't see it on the video. Here's same laboratory, their certification. Here's her name, all of her information. And here it is, just right in black and white. E. coli QT, greater than 200. Tested on today's date at 1:20 p.m. And total coliform greater than 200. And you see when the city of Alexandria put theirs up, Theirs had an X by the satisfactory. This has an X at the unsatisfactory. At examination time, this water was bacteriologically unsafe. Holy shit! If this was me, I wouldn't go back to the house. To me, this is the same thing as you telling me my house is haunted or someone was murdered there. I would not go back to this place.
And here's the thing. At the end of the day, she shouldn't have to pay any property taxes. The Wyckoffs shouldn't have to pay any property taxes because these houses are inhabitable. They shouldn't have to pay any more utilities either for the has to go with the water. So people, I can't even begin to imagine the amount. And I'm telling you, I was furious after I got home listening to the gaslighting that's going on with Lisa. So now they're saying that Lisa's faucet is dirty.
Yeah. So,
right?
So tell them that.
It gets better. Not only is Lisa's faucet dirty, well, she probably didn't wash her hands. Well, she probably didn't have gloves on. Well, she probably touched the inside of the bottle. Well, oh, that's right. She didn't take the screen out of the sink and wash the screen before she tested the water.
I think a couple of people are saying that she took this test with her asshole.
Yeah, I mean, you think she's showering in her kitchen sink? I mean, I don't know. I'm just appalled at this because at the end of the day, that screen that's in the sink, everything coming through that faucet, guess what? That E. coli is all coming from the water system. There's nothing in me that looks at Lisa thinking, oh, Lisa took the sprayer from the kitchen sink and gave herself an enema. People,
yeah, right.
I have had enough of this. You know what? At the end of the day, elected officials, IDEM, all you government agencies, instead of gaslighting the people, how about you get on board with the people? How about you work with the people? You say that we don't want to work with you. You say that we're part of the problem. No, we're the solution. We, the people, are the solution. And this is what it's going to take. It's going to take for hundreds of us to, unfortunately, we're going to give this a lot of business to this place.
Yeah.
But it's the reality of it. I don't care where you go to test the water, as long as you test your water and see what you've got. Again, some of you don't want to spend the money on the home test. Don't. I'm telling you again, you get a glass, you fill it with water, you put a cap on it, you set it in the sun for 12 to 16 hours. If it's cloudy, it turns colors, it has particles, your water is a problem. And you need additional testing. That's probably the cheapest way that I can tell people. Okay.
Yeah.
So
say it again.
You take a glass with a lid.
A glass.
A glass jar.
Yeah. Not like plastic or something, but a glass
jar. And with a lid, because you don't want to evaporate it, and you sit it in the sun. You can sit in the window.
So like a ball jar, right? There's nobody alive in central Indiana that doesn't have a ball jar. You get a ball jar, you fill it up with water, you put a ball jar lid on it, and you set it in the sun for how long?
12 to 16 hours.
All right. Set it there for 24 hours. Go look at it tomorrow.
Right? I mean, and if you don't have a lid, fine. Get a piece of foil. I don't care. Saran wrap. You just have to make sure the water doesn't evaporate is the deal. So, that's the cheapest way you can do it. And again, I cannot express to any of you enough. Clear water does not mean it is safe water.
Yeah.
If you haven't read Tom's River, I encourage you to read that book. You read it. That's where the nurse begins to get these children at the children's hospital. She's starting to connect the dots of why are these kids got cancer? Why are they sick? They start connecting the addresses. She starts to realize what's going on. And she's like, these people are coming from the same place. Well, what do they think? This woman's crazy. This nurse has got to be crazy. So what does this nurse do? She drives to this town, which is about, I don't know, it was an hour and a half, 2 hours away. When she gets to this town, she's looking around and she sees a shrine of all these children who have passed. And that's where she began to say, there's a problem and where's it coming from? And it was the river and the water. And so what floors me even more is, why haven't they tested Pipe Creek's water?
Yeah.
just like you've got the issue over there in Muncie.
Yeah.
And so again, people, while Erin Brockovich is another one.
Yeah.
Well, this is a crazy lady. She's got it. What does she mean? She's going out here and looking at all these things. And then you see these big corporations come in. You see IDEM come in. You see the EPA come in. And what do they want to do? They want to shut her up. They want to shut all these people up because nobody wants to face the reality that there's a problem. The same thing is, I think the show's called Dark Rivers.
Dark Waters.
Dark Waters. That's the same thing. And the reason why I don't know why I've been called to water. This is the same issue I was fighting in Lapel when they wanted to bring the junkyard in over by the wellheads. It's very important that we protect our most precious resource. That's water. None of us can live without it. None of us. And so, at the end of the day, Chris, I put in the messenger, if you can pull that up, because I want to
real quick. I want to put this up there because there's a couple people saying that they're going to test their water. Listen to me, people. If there's anybody that is doing this test and you're doing it right now or you're going to do it tonight, I'm going to tell you, you don't have to do this. But if there's anybody that wants to, go get your water, put it in there, take a picture of it right now, and then tomorrow take a picture of it. And if you want to send it to me right here on the screen, you can send it to me at Facebook. Yeah, facebook.com/Bilbrey318, Kristopher H. Bilbrey on Facebook. You can send it to me at the Political Spotlight Facebook page. You can text it to me at 765-546-9796, or you can email it to me. If you want to do this experiment, we won't have a show tomorrow. We're not having a show. Tomorrow's the 4th of July. We won't have a show. It's Friday. But
nobody will be home tomorrow night.
Yeah,
right. Working.
So if you want to send these pictures to me, do this and send these pictures to me. Then we can look at them on Sunday or whatever when we come back, and we'll take a look at this. But if you want to do this, do this. So that'd be great. But yeah, send it to me. There's the information. You can find it. You know how to get a hold of me. If you're this far into this episode and you don't know how to get a hold of me, you probably shouldn't be watching. You're too far gone, but okay.
So, and of course, anybody, if you want to send me something, I'm happy to forward it on to Kristopher. He'll get the information. He only ghosts me when he's taking a nap. So just so everybody knows, so if you can bring that up in Messenger, it tells you how to collect it. And this is on the State Department. I want everybody to know, I had called Nicole on my way back from Alexandria. So Nicole goes on to tell me this story. And Nicole says, listen, we had positive tests in the city of Anderson. I
Where
said,
did you send it to me? What did you send me?
It's for the Indiana State Department of Health.
Where did you send it?
In Messenger.
No, you didn't.
Oh, every day is your first day with social media.
Somebody's.
You see above the picture that you sent me, it's at 8:55. Do you want me to send it to you again?
Oh, you mean it's not, you didn't send it to me now.
Oh my gosh.
You're
Okay. Stay with me.
Ago.
I'm going to check you for a brain tumor later.
Yeah,
okay. So Nicole goes on to tell me, she says, listen, we had E. coli and somebody had their stuff tested. I said, okay. And she said, do you know that IDEM told them? And she goes, you just wait, because you're going to get the call, that they told them that their faucet was dirty. And sure enough, within 30 minutes, we got the call that our faucet was dirty. So, it was just a funny story. And then I had to call Nicole and tell her that happened. So everybody, I want you to look at this. These are the directions, okay, for getting and collecting your sample. I want everybody to understand this. The sample is only good for about 30 hours. The fresher the sample, the better. Unfortunately, this is a holiday weekend, so there's not a lot we can do until Monday.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, you can do the ball jar shit and take pictures of it.
All that, absolutely. But it's not going to be your sample that you take to them. So it goes in here and it tells you it has a dechlorinating agent has been in the bottle. So inside the bottle, you're going to see something in there. Okay. And then you're going to put the water to the line. You're not going to touch the inside of it. I don't know why anybody would touch the inside of it anyways. Take the lid off. I wouldn't touch a powder, but I didn't know what it was, people. Let me just be real clear with you. Don't stick your finger and stuff like that.
There's no reason no one would pick a bottle up like that.
Right?
If you're doing that, You're too stupid to do the test. Move on.
Yes.
Drink the water. You'll be fine. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah. And you clearly see there's powder in there. You're not going to dump it upside down and dump the powder out. So you're going to
take the lid off
and don't
put
touch
the water
anything.
in the bottle, put the lid back. Don't touch inside the lid. Pick the lid up by the thing, screw it back on.
Okay. And then it will tell you, you have to fill it to a fill line. You don't fill the thing completely full. Okay. Understand that there's going to be some air in there. So then after you do all that, the sample should be collected from the tap. They tell you to run the water for a few minutes. You only put it to that level, and then you take it back. I mean, you wash your hands before you do it. I mean, I can't believe that somebody even questioned me and asked me if I collected it properly.
Well, it's not you they're asking. There are stupid people out there.
Yeah, there are,
and
but
they do stupid things. I mean, I
at
understand.
least it's not a stupid person.
Or no, but I mean, a lot of the people aren't like, they don't know you people on a personal level. So I get why they're confused. And like Tweety Bird said, at the end of the day, nobody's going to believe any of this until other people are doing it, because they're looking for the way out of this. I mean, Tweety Bird's 100% right there. Absolutely.
Right. And so, I mean, and this is the importance for everyone to understand. I am not licensed in this. All I understand, I am just the same as all of you. Just the same.
No way.
I'm learning this. This is not something I went to school for. The part that I know is dirty water can make you sick. It can cause diarrhea. It can cause nausea, vomiting, headaches. It can cause cancers.
It used to kill people.
Yes. I mean,
it still kills people.
It does. And so that is why I am so interested in the water, but I can't seem to get enough people to test their water.
I heard don't drink the water. There's blood in the water. I don't know, but I know.
And here's the thing. If your animals have been sick, look at your water. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
Anybody, when I looked at some of the water reports that are coming out, Lapel's put theirs out, almost all of them, the chlorine is at the maximum amount it can be at. Why is that? Why are we using so much chlorine in the water? What's the purpose?
Yeah.
The purpose is we're covering something up, and they believe that us people are too stupid and are just a bunch of hilljacks, that we don't know what to do or where to look. Well, it's a new day. It's a new dawn, because I'm going to keep digging. Kristopher's going to keep digging. People who are coming on this show are going to keep digging until we get enough people involved that they can hear us coming. And here's the thing. We called the mayor prior to going live. Now, it was just a few minutes before going live, and he will have to figure out what he's going to do. If everybody's water tests negative next week, then great. They fixed the water problem, right? Because I would imagine they're going to do something this weekend. But here's what I want to tell people. The government center in Madison County, they were all closed today because evidently this is a non-election year. So they get 2 extra days that they get to have as a holiday because they're not using them for elections when they're normally closed. So they decided to make the 3rd and the 4th and close it out. Well, I got a big problem with that, especially in Madison County with that health department, because that health department is only in one Thursday a month or a week, one Thursday. Okay. Last month, they were off for June 19th because it happened to fall on a Thursday. And now we're off again. So in the last 4 weeks, the health department has only been open for 2 weeks. Now, is this unusual? It's unusual, but it just goes to show that, why wouldn't you pick another day to make sure that they had a day during the week there in Elwood, if it was such an important site to Stephanie Mellinger? And I'm going to tell you why. Because you have someone who does not understand leadership. I'll tell you right now, had I seen that live video, and I know for a fact she's seen that live video, or one of her flunkies has seen it, I would have been out there this evening testing the water. Not only would I be testing Lisa's water, I would have been knocking on neighbors' doors, and whoever was home, I'd say, I'm from the health department. Can I come in and test your water because we've had a report? And I would have all of that working right now.
I'd say warrant. Show me your warrant first.
Right. And that's, and that's at the end of the day, that's what I would be doing. But you have to love the people, and you have to want to actually serve the people.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's where Madison County falls short. Kristopher said, I'm going to check you for a brain tumor because you're asking Lisa where she got that test at. She just told you she got it at Menards for $8. Well, here's the thing. My phone's going off. I just came from the office. I've got 5,000 things on my mind I'm trying to figure out. And I want to make sure that I'm getting all the information in that short amount of time with you guys. There's a lot of pressure when you go live. It just is, even though you think you've got it. Now, when we sit here in our comforts of our own room, it's fine. But I kept thinking, as we're sitting there, Lisa and I are out on that main drag there on 9. And I don't know how I find myself always out on these main areas. Well, here comes a sheriff's car, right? They're all stopping at this light. And pretty much in Madison County, if people see me out doing something, and I'm standing in the side of the corner, so they know I'm up to something. So
there's Katherine standing on the side of the street again. Looks like she's working.
Yeah, and
working that corner.
You're getting nervous, and I just want to say a big shout out because my cameraman tonight was Miss Crooms.
Oh.
Yes, because I couldn't get a hold of you, so Miss Crooms went up there, and she was the camera person.
Ain't nobody know how to work a camera like Crooms does.
All right. She is on top of it. So she come out and and she's watching this whole thing, and she too has been talking about the water. If you guys are not following Nicole Kapuzinski, you need to be following her pages. She's been putting out information after information. We've got water problems. She's been doing it for months now. She's had the EPA come in. She's asked difficult questions. She's had uncomfortable questions. She has literally stood from the rooftop. She has screamed, yelled. She has been nice. She has been accountable. She's done everything she can. And we just can't seem to get the momentum we need. And maybe now, finally, this is the push we need. And so in the meantime, if you go back and you watch the video, somebody is a neighbor to Lisa, and they took their mom to the hospital today. This is before we ever aired the live, and nobody had any idea that this was going on. Lisa had not communicated with anybody, just myself. And that mom, she said to the emergency room, hey, we think we've got E. coli. They didn't believe her. That mom has been transferred down to an Indy hospital now. So I don't know if it has anything to do with the water, but people, if you're going to the emergency room, if you're seeing your family doctor, please bring this up, especially in Alexandria. A lot of the Alexandria physicians that are there, I don't believe live actually in Alexandria. So Dr. Noble lives in Hamilton County. So you might want to raise these concerns regarding the water and the water safety. Yeah. So I would even be interested if people had family members in the nursing homes, if they were able to go into those places and get water. So there's lots of people who need to get involved with, testing the water and sharing the results with us.
Absolutely. Well,
so again, no longer than 30 hours can you preserve your water to be tested.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not even an option right now, you guys, because nothing's open.
Yeah, you just wait until,
And people are like, well, can I collect the water, then go to Muncie and pour it in the container and deliver it? No, because it has to be preserved in the powder that's inside that bottle.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you're going to have to go up there and get it, come back home and take it back up. Yeah. Maybe there's a group of you that want to come together, and one person can drive it up. They can bring the bottles back. They can give it to everybody. And then whoever can take the load back, another person can take the load back up. But just, work together. Of course, we're here to, and I want to, if there's negative tests, great. I want to hear about negative tests.
Yeah. It's not like we're like, yes, we hope everyone's dying. Let us know you've all got shit water. Yeah, provide negative. The negatives are just as, are probably more important than the positives, because it would be good to find out that shit water is not floating through everybody's water. You know, I hope some of you have good water. Like Tweety Bird said, if the tests in the home water and we get test questionable results, you got to make a stink. You got to kind of get loud, get in their face. We got to like go to the paper and make a big deal about it. That's why we got to get people to do it, and really, really kind of get people.
And I hope
shaking up.
I hope people share this with Rafael Sanchez.
Speaking of what, real quick, keep them going. I got to go get me another water.
Yeah, I hope people share this with news channels. I hope you tag the news channels and all these things, because the squeaky wheel is the one that gets the attention. And here's what I want to tell anybody who's watching from Alexandria. If you're concerned about, does Alexandria have the money to take care of this? Listen. The commissioners are going to have to come up with some money. That's just the bottom line. And if you've looked at my Facebook page I put out this weekend, there's $107 million for Madison County that's in our funds. $107 million. Now they'll say, well, that's tied up and we owe this and we owe that and we can't do. Listen, at the end of the day, at the bottom line, it says $107. So here's what I think. You go take money from that area, you go take money from that area, and you make sure these people have clean water. I don't really care where you take it from. You can take it from all your pet projects. You can take it from, you know, these people who are getting kickbacks, that are your friends and families who are doing projects for us, because I'm kind of over it. Now, these people want your vote, but they don't want your voice. They don't want your complaints. No. Why do you give them a free pass? As a matter of fact, I'll tell you where I'll take that money from. They can, right there, the commissioners, the three of them, together they make over $150,000. And on top of that $150,000, they get full benefits. Well, then let's bring in their secretary, Tom Eichert, right? Or Ecker. So we bring his in, he's making 60 or 70,000. Then they got another secretary in there. She's making 30 or 40,000. So I don't know, right there, we're up to about 230,000. I mean, these people want to work. Well, work for free. Volunteer your time. You guys are such good servants. I mean, you guys had no problem when I was the coroner and I was making $9 an hour. So I got no problem for you people working for free. As a matter of fact, on top of that, you guys can go ahead and give your vehicles up so we can save on gas, and you can turn in a log and we'll just put your mileage on it, because after all, that's what you ask the coroners to do. But what do you do for the health department? The health department that does nothing? You buy them a fleet of cars. They must have 12 cars. So if we're going to do this, I got all kinds of ways that we got money.
Holy crap.
Right? So, and that's what I'm saying. The gloves are off. If you guys, I've been at this for 5 years. I'll just put all your dirty laundry out there. You won't let me have a morgue to put the dead bodies on? That's fine. You don't have to give me a morgue. But you know what? I'm going to show everybody where the dead bodies are. And I'm going to keep doing that until I get a morgue.
Yeah.
So, and that's the whole, you know, moral to the story is we got huge problems. And if anybody here thinks this just is with Madison County or Alexandria, it's everywhere. And here's the thing. You guys can all beat up Mayor Todd Nasal Road. You can beat up Mayor Broderick. You can beat up anybody you want. But it didn't happen just now. This has been going on for decades. The problem is we keep voting in the same people. At some point, we've got to vote in people who can stand up to the cartel. I like Todd Nasal Road. There's nothing about me that doesn't like him, right? But he's got to push back. He's got to say, I can't do this for my people. You've got to give us help. We've got to clean this up. We've got to get to the bottom of this. You know, and that's just where it's all at. We've got to start asking where the money's at. We've got to start demanding accountability, not asking for it and not accepting the answers. I'm not okay with any of these water reports that are out there. None. After I see the Wyckoff's water reports and I see Lisa's water reports, and what's the difference? The difference of the water being collected at the young lady's house compared to the Wyckoff's and Lisa's is that was independent. Nobody had their hands in it but independent people. So you have to begin to start to question this. If people are coming to your door and they're wanting to collect your water, I would be going with them and watching my sample go to the lab.
Yeah.
That's the end of the day. And you know what? I don't care, IDEM. I don't care, government officials. I don't care, because you know what? This is the gaslighting you do to us.
Yeah.
You want to continually say that we would manipulate something, that we would change something. Well, I'm insulted by it. So now I'm going to call you on your bluff.
I resemble that remark.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's how it is. You want to go toe to toe? Well, let's go toe to toe. Because I'm not going to let you gaslight the people anymore.
And amazingly, I think that enough Delaware people said, man, we don't want to hear Katherine's water stories. We want water stories of our own. So we've developed water stories over here even too. Can you believe that? Well, that's what's crazy.
That's exactly how this has to get infectious. You know, Eagle Creek has closed down.
Infectious, all right.
Right? Eagle Creek has closed down because their water's got an issue. Geist has got issues on their water. But the thing is, you hear all that going on, but how many people have stepped back and said, should I test my faucet? Should I test my water? Nobody's doing it.
Because everybody thinks it's not going to happen to them. Everything's okay. It's not going to affect them. It's affecting somebody else. Oh, that's Alexandria, or that's that side of Alexandria, or oh, that's that block over there. That's not this block. Or
here,
it's the next door neighbor.
It'll
never happen to me. Yep.
It's coming. Yeah. I'm just telling you, everybody, it's coming. And again, I am not correlating what happened to the young lady and her child. I'm not correlating this lady who's been sick over here. The only way this is ever going to get correlated, if you have a good sample size of the community who turns in the water, and then we have a point person who's beginning to connect all the dots and put all the documentation together and plot out all the different areas of who had positives and who had negatives. We're going to have some negatives.
Sure. Well,
yeah, we're going to, absolutely. Yeah. And we want to have negatives.
Well, yeah.
Right? So that's what we have to do is, you know, getting this all together and putting this all together for the people. Muncie's got water issues. Nobody up with the infrastructure.
Well, so that's the thing. And for the people, and I'm sure everybody's heard this, but I don't know. It was all about the same time that all this was going on. So the 26th, that was a week ago today. A week ago today, the city of Muncie put out breaking news, a press release stating the city of Muncie came out and said, city of Muncie announces temporary closure of Prairie Creek Reservoir. And they put this out. It was a big ordeal. Everybody heard this and was like going crazy about it. They're closing Prairie Creek Reservoir Beach due to elevated algae levels. And then within an hour of this, the water company who actually owns the reservoir, they put out their own statement that said, nothing to see here. Everything's fine. All's well. Muncie area residents should be aware that no algal toxins have been detected in the water after treatment. And people are like, wait a minute. What in the hell? What is going on?
And this is something I want to bring up. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
So some of the cities and towns test their own water.
Yeah.
So I would imagine the water company has their own testing facility.
Oh, sure.
And this is, again, what I tell people. It's time to call the BS where the BS is at. You have to test your water and compare it to this. It's the only way through.
The other issue here, though, is
it's a holiday weekend. Do you think they're going to lose all this revenue?
No. Yeah, right. So the issue here is this was a little bit of communication error. So the city of, depending on what you're wanting to believe.
I got to take the call real quick, but you go ahead and speak.
Yeah, you're fine. So the city of Muncie, hold on, I don't know what we did there. There you go. The city of Muncie put out the press release stating that they were closing the beach area, yada, yada, yada. That's the beach area. What the water company meant was there's no algal toxins in the drinking water. That's what's there at the drinking water. Okay, so that was the confusion. So going back to what the city of Muncie said was they were going to be testing it, and it was going to be, a little period of time, yada, yada, yada. They're going to see what's going on. And then nobody knew what was going on. Could you swim off the boat in Prairie Creek? Some people were saying yes. Some people were saying no. Nobody knew what the hell was going on. Nobody knew who to believe. Believe the people at the water company, believe the people at the city, believe the people at Prairie Creek. We were getting like 3 different stories, right? Well, then today, so that's 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3. That's 7 days, a total week, 1 day before the 4th of July. And the city of Muncie then puts out a new press release today. And the press release says, hold up here. The press release says, Prairie Creek Reservoir Beach reopens following improved water quality. The city of Muncie is pleased to announce the reopening of the beach at Prairie Creek Reservoir just in time for the 4th of July holiday weekend. Recent water quality tests conducted by Indiana American Water confirm that the cyanobacteria blue-green algae levels have dropped to 5.5 micrograms per liter, well within the U.S. EPA's safe threshold of 8. This improvement was achieved without chemical treatment, due in part to the proactive decision to temporarily close the beach last week. While a treatment plan using the EPA-approved product Curatine Plus remains in place, its application was delayed due to permitting requirements by the NDR. And DNR. The treatment is now expected to occur early next week and poses no risk to public health. Swimming will remain safe both before and during the treatment process. At no point has the situation impacted the quality or safety of the drinking water sourced from Prairie Creek Reservoir. The drinking water supply is treated and monitored separately under stringent state and federal guidelines, and there has been no detection of contaminants or risk to public health. We are thrilled that the residents and visitors can come back to Prairie Creek, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's happy. Everything's wonderful. Prairie Creek Reservoir continues to be one of the most closely monitored recreational bodies of water in the state with regards to testing by IDEM and DNR and the Muncie Sanitary District Bureau of Water Quality. The city of Muncie extends its gratitude to visitors for the patience and understanding and encourages everyone to continue following posted guidelines for safety and an enjoyable visit. So, ta-da, everything is good. Well, then comes the back and forth between people on the Muncie Prairie Creek side, where at that Facebook page, people are saying, well, wait a minute. We were told by people at Prairie Creek that you guys did start testing, treating the water, rather. And there's this whole big back and forth. People are saying, so we were lied to about the water being treated Monday, or are we being lied to now? Hard to believe anything that is being said. And there's been this great big back and forth. I actually commented. We're going to see if I got a response to my comment. Because I actually said, so where is the post or communication stating the treatment occurred Monday? And Tyler responded, the statement was given by Mayor on Indy TV. He stated they treated the water as a precaution and would retest on Monday, which was date shown on the papers posted at the res. The issue is no one communication what or what is not done. I called Wednesday to water company in text and left message for info and no reply. So not knowing makes easy target for the bullshit. Since D-Bag was here, it's been horrible. And he's talking about Dustin Clark. Take our money and leave us all in the dark. Now new staffing again, and we all have to guess on what's going on. Check any news. I will see if I can find the interview with old Dan. Love what you're doing on the res. Very interesting that
so it's happening everywhere, and this is what I mean, people. No one's coming to save us. If you're willing to buy what everybody's telling you without double checking it, then I guess you're just going to have dirty water. But I'm unwilling to accept anything anymore after what I am seeing and what is going on. And I am pleading with Madison County, because that's where I'm vested at. You've got to test your water. You've just got to do it. And even if yours is negative, talk to your neighbors. They've got to test it. That was actually Lisa who just called me. And she said what happens is you go up to the water place, this HML. They give you the bottle. It's sealed. The bottle is sealed. They tell you not to open it or touch it until you go home. There's a paper and there's a directions all with it. You go home, you wash your hands, you run the water, you put the water in there, and then you take it back to them. That's when you pay your $35, when you take it back to them. So I don't know if somebody goes up there and got 10 bottles, if they could bring them back and then give them to their friends, and whoever gives that person $35, you fill out the paper, you put your address in it, you put all that stuff in it, you collect your water, and it goes back up there. And then you pay your $35 there, and then they'll give you the results to an email within 24 hours. And even when this HML called Lisa, they said, "So you're on a well?" She said, "No, I'm not on a well." She goes, "What do you mean?" She says, "I'm on the city water." And she goes, "You're what?" So I don't know if they have to report that, Christopher, with it being so high because she's on a city. But I would be real interested to see how IDEM,
what's going to happen now with that.
They got word of this. And like she just said, she said that guy from IDEM said, "Well, did you wash your hands? Did you touch the inside? Well, how'd you collect it? What'd you do?" Listen, buddy, why don't you get your hot little rear end out here and you start testing this stuff? And Lisa was kind of a little bit, like wondering, did we do the right thing by putting this out? Because now they have the weekend to treat the water and to do things kind of like your guys' reservoir. And I told her, I said, we were damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't. Because
you got to put it out.
You got to put it out as quickly as possible.
Not putting it out would be doing dirty like them, because you got to give people this warning or this notice.
Right.
You got to give them the notice.
And that's the whole thing. And I, like, when I was talking to Lisa, I was like, listen, I mean, we went live within about 2 hours of her getting these results, people. And so, there is a meeting Monday night at the town of Alexandria. I believe it starts at 5:30. Listen, that's the first night they're going to allow public comment. They're going to limit you to 2 minutes. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you think 2 minutes is enough time for me to address my water issues, no, it is not. And so I would encourage it to be full in that meeting area. I'm going to tell you guys another thing. That room is really weird how it is set up. There is a capacity with that, right? And there's a fire safety with that capacity. It's not a lot. They then have people out in the hallway behind this glass. Let me tell you something. You need to start recording that. You need to take pictures of that. That is a violation of your First Amendment rights. Everybody is supposed to be accommodated who wants to attend these meetings, and they all should be able to hear and see what is going on. They have the room, they have the space, they can have this somewhere else if that many people are wanting to attend. they can move one block over and delay the meeting by 10 or 15 minutes. But I'm telling you right now, if you are not able to get inside that room, and I saw that one time when I was there, Christopher, people are like, well, I can't hear and I can't see, so I'm just going to leave.
No, don't have anybody leaving. No.
You need to stop that meeting and say, hey, we can't see, we can't hear. This is a violation of our First Amendment rights. So this is the time. This is when you put your elected officials on display. I do know that Jeremy Van Erman, and I've talked with Jeremy Van Erman. I thought it was a very nice gentleman. He answered all the questions I had to him the night we went up there. I was disappointed to see that not many of Monroe Township's elected officials were actually at that exhibit hall to find out about that regional utility district. And I will tell you, but Jeremy comes back and he says, I'm going to start my own page and get away from these fear mongers. And then you visit my page where the truth will be there. Listen, you're an elected official. Darcy's your ex-wife. You're on the city of Anderson's page. What better place for you to tell the truth? Why do you have to have your own page? And I got news for you, Jeremy. If you put that on your page and you start blocking people and you start censoring people, let me tell you something. You're going to have an issue with violations of First Amendment rights. You cannot do that. So I have no idea what the purpose of him starting another page is. So I just want people to know that. Again, I don't have anything against him, but I don't know why you would leave a city page when you're an elected official.
Well, yeah, I made some posts to that page. I also told them that they need to really rethink whatever their dumbass policy is. And the people up there from Alexandria, the people that are listening to this, if you hear this, don't go in there. You don't have to you don't have to sign up to speak if you don't want. They cannot force you to sign up. You don't have to give your name. You don't have to give your address. You can just go in there and speak, and they don't have to like it. They don't have to like what you're saying, similar to you don't have to like what they're saying. You go back and forth and you can disagree and they can disagree, but they have to let you speak, and people need to not leave. You need to go in there. You need to be prepared to stand up and fight. This is what it is, man. It's what it is. And if they start doing weird shit with the public comments, whatever, I would highly, highly, highly recommend the citizens of Alexandria tell them that they need to watch how the city of Muncie conducts their city council meetings. Muncie does so much craziness and there's so much corruption and chaos. But I will tell you, if anybody out there, Muncie runs their meeting. It's like the gold standard of how meetings should be ran. They open the meeting up. They take care of all their nonsense business. They get into the topics. They bring up new business ordinances. They bring the ordinance up. They discuss it. And then they allow topic on that ordinance from the public before they vote. Then they sit down. Then they move on to the next ordinance. And they bring it up.
Before they vote. In Madison County, they vote and then they listen to what you have to say.
Yeah.
Dr. Green is a complete moron, and I'm going to say it.
Yeah. And then at the end of all of that, at the end of the whole meeting, then they allow public comment. And it's 3 minutes, but they don't force you to the 3 minutes. They'll let you go over a little bit, and they work with you. They're really good. That's probably one of the best things they do is how they run the meeting. So anybody out there, wherever you go, wherever your weird ass meetings are held, tell their elected officials they should watch how Muncie City Council meetings ran. And it is been live streamed forever.
Yeah, it's a sad day in Madison County. There's been lots of disappointments. Bethany Keller is about the only one that does come out and actually ask for public comment and wants the public comment. She really should have been the board president this year, but we knew that the corruption of Kelly Hewer and with the layovers of Russ Willis, that was just never going to happen. And so now we've got a board president who's never been an elected official. He didn't attend hardly any meetings in 24 to get any idea of what was going on. And that's who's running the show. And when he runs the show, then he opens the whole thing with prayer as your lecture of how we need to behave.
It's always amazing to me when people
need to stay in line.
When people run for office and have never attended public meetings before.
Yeah.
It's always so weird to me.
Yeah. And so, I just, it's going to take more of us to push back, more of us to show up, and more of us to really get behind our neighbors and show, and what floors me is, why are any of these elected officials worried that their water could potentially not be safe? I mean, I would be concerned, and so that's kind of where we're at with this whole water issue.
I think they probably think that we're making a big deal out of nothing, just like everything else they think.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the same people that are burying their head in the sands. Oh, this is not a big deal. It's not going to hurt me. I drink bottled water. It don't matter. Well, you shower in it. You know,
right?
You wash your clothes in it. You make spaghetti or shit that you cook in.
Well, and this is what, I don't fully understand, but I do understand, because when I was doing all the water testing and I was watching the Wyckoffs, they'd be like, okay, you got to run the water for 5 minutes and then you got to test the water. Well, why would we run the water for 5 minutes? How many of you, Christopher's weird ways, he runs the water, but I don't know. I turn the water on, I stick my toothbrush right under it, and I start brushing my teeth. I don't run the water for 5 minutes and then stick my toothbrush under there, because quite frankly, that's just a waste of water.
I would never trust it like that. No.
Okay, but I do. So the only thing I run before I get in there is the shower. And that's because I'm waiting for the water to get warm. But, I don't, when I cook spaghetti, I just put the pot right under the faucet and I just put it right in there and we just drink from it. So some of you, if you're watching this, I would encourage you, go ahead, wipe down your screen on your sink, wipe down the mouthpiece of your sink. Do that, and then let it air dry for a little bit, run some water through it so that nobody can come back and say, well, it was your screen that was dirty. Well, it was this that was dirty. This is just asinine for these people. You know what I want? Let me tell you what I want. I want you to videotape how you collect the water.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And when we do it, because we're leading by example, I want all those officials who now test water to do the same thing. I want you to go on a live video, because all of you know how to do it, because we have to live stream all these meetings now.
Yeah.
I want you to put it on live every time you go to sample water. I don't care where you're sampling from. I feel you owe it to us people. It's free for you to put it on video. I want to see it actually while you're doing it. If you want to hold us to some higher echelon, clout, then I guess you too need to be held to the same standards. Don't preach at me if you're not going to walk like me.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
People come into my office, they want weight loss. My mom says, how can you even counsel somebody on weight loss? Look how fat you are, right? Well, I get it, Mom. Okay. So I'm a little more gentle. And I say to them, so you don't like being fluffy anymore, and you would like to be not fluffy. Okay. Because I'm fluffy, right? So we just changed the wording around a little bit, and so, but that's the thing. We need to lead by example, and we need to help by example. Now, somebody is asking me, I just got a message, when and where is the Alexandria meeting coming up? We definitely want to be there and haven't heard about it. So the meeting is in the city building. I wish Lisa were on. It's in the city building there uptown where the mayor's office is. They have some meeting. It starts like at 5:30, and then they roll right into the council.
The first meeting's their Board of Works meeting. They always do the Board of Works meeting first.
And that usually takes about 10 minutes, which is unbelievable to me, because I look at all these boards and I think, you don't have anything going on in your town or your county that you just need 10 minutes to talk about stuff?
Well, the Board of Works is like, yeah. It's crazy.
Does the Board of Works care about the water?
They should. They're kind of be would connected about it. They would.
Okay, so you might want to go to the 5:30 meeting. They might have that. They say you have to sign up in advance. And this is a perfect example, Alexandria, right here and right now. So you wanted me to sign up a week ago, knowing that we had a holiday on Thursday and Friday, the 3rd and the 4th. Then we're off on Saturday and Sunday. That's 4 days. So you really have to have some thought process of how far back you have to sign up. And then something like the water comes up, you learn about it on Thursday of a holiday, and the meeting's on Monday. How are you going to sign up and know that's what you wanted to speak about? Do you see how crazy that is? So I would be bringing that up. And quite frankly, do I think they have a decent attorney? I do. But I think his realistic expectations is absolutely ridiculous and absurd.
Everything I've heard, he's probably an okay guy, but he seems like an idiot to me with this nonsense.
So Gardner's back. Is Gardner back? Gardner wasn't at the commissioners meeting on Tuesday because he was with Todd Culp at an auditors meeting. Now, I don't know why Rick Gardner is at an auditors meeting with Todd Culp when every time you ask Gardner something about the auditor's office, he claims that he has amnesia and like he never was in that office for the past 8 years. So I'm not sure why the taxpayers paid for Gardner to attend an auditors meeting. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's a huge problem, and it's a huge thorn in my side. I have no idea why we paid for that.
That's so
my
weird.
soapbox. I know they don't care about the money, Stumblefoot, but you know what? I don't just care about the money. I care about the people too. And I want everybody to understand, because I take a lot of hits on social media. Katherine Callahan does not care if she's ever an elected official. Being an elected official is a bonus, right? Because then I get to show you guys more stuff behind the scenes, right? And that's why they don't want me in there, because I would open everything for you guys to see. But at the end of the day, what I care more about is that I made a difference in the people. It doesn't matter what title goes along with that. It just matters that I did. And so, I listen to these people say, oh, you're just butthurt because you didn't win that last election. Listen, I don't think I lost that election. If you look at how Lannon and Smith can manipulate.
You were doing this before you ran.
That's what I mean. I didn't just get involved with it now. I got involved because I was the chief deputy coroner and I was tired of throwing bodies in the back of a semi-trailer. I was tired of leaving infants in a beer cooler. I was tired of leaving children there. Do you know how hard that is? I mean, it was killing me to do that.
Yeah.
And so it is what it is. I'm going to keep fighting for the people. My daughter says to me today, she says, I want you to know that I'm quite offended by you today. You said you were coming home and we were going to go and have a nice afternoon lunch and we were going out to the lake. And she goes, and then you come home and you say, something's come up. You want to go eat? And she says, I don't know. I said, okay, excellent. I've got something that's come up, and I leave. And she says, then I see on social media, you're on a Facebook Live talking about the water, and I'm over here starving. I said, well, you haven't missed that many meals, but that's truly how important it was to me. It was important for me to go do this for the people, right? And so, and when I say this, I want everybody to know my children the apple does not fall far from the tree. They will come home telling me how they've gone to bat for this person and they've gone back to bat for that person. And, and then they start talking about the politics and they tell me how much they hate it. And I just say, welcome to my world. So, it's great that there's more of me that will be out there doing the things I do. But at the end of the day, all I really care about is, did I help the Wyckoffs in a little bit of a way? Did I help Alexandria a little bit? Did I leave this place better than it was when I found it? That's all I really care about. And so I want people to know, I'm sure, I may run for something, but I'm telling you, they would silence me so much as an elected official. I don't know how much I'd be able to say. I have a lot more fun doing this. And people told that to the county. They're like, you really do want her to win, because if she wins, you can shut her up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I will tell you, maybe I did lose the race fair and square. I had several of my patients tell me after the election that they were sorry that I didn't win, but they weren't sorry. And they also had to tell me that they did not vote for me.
Yeah.
And I said, well, why didn't you vote for me? And they said, because we didn't want to lose you as a provider. We were so worried that county is such a mess that you would devote all of your time to that and you wouldn't have the time for this.
Oh my God.
And I said, but I balanced it very well when I was the chief deputy coroner. And they said, yeah, you did. But they said, we just were too worried. And so I get that. I mean, I've got that battle in front of me too. But you know what? I'm grateful for their honesty. And as you can see, I don't have any hard feelings with my patients being honest with me. None at all.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I sympathize with them too. I can only do so much at one time. So it is what it is. And I'm going to continue to expose the cheating. I'm going to continue to expose the water issue. I'm going to continue to sit on these guys that we throw people in a beer cooler. I'm going to continue to show that we are reckless with the spending and that they're padding their own pockets. Anybody who's been following along, I just want to bring up Rachel Christensen, who sits on the Parks Board, who is the vice president, who everybody knows I made her own little special post. The new athletic park that's going to go in for Anderson, it's a $20 million athletic park. I can't even believe this. I mean, there's so many other things that really the people need, but this athletic park is supposed to go, they say like a Ferris wheel, they say like a pool, all this stuff. And yes, I believe that people need those things too, but you got to find that balance. And I just, and then when you see the water utility rates going up and you see all that, it makes you nervous that should all that be going up, and then we're going to get this athletic park. Safety is a big concern. Again, I'm not against this. I'm just asking, are we being wise with our money?
No,
right?
No.
And so I just want people to understand that Rachel Christensen's engineering firm, HW something, whatever it is, they were the ones awarded the contract to do athletic park. So, that's an interesting thing. We're going to continue to watch all the players here. We're going to see how this all works out and how this all rolls out. But I want people to understand, nobody is safe when they are elected official anymore. I think they're all going to be exposed for the people they are. The time has come to show how they have taken advantage of the people, how they have ruined people's lives, how they have abused the power that they've been given, and how they have used it. That is the devil's work. It is truly the devil's work. And I think the time has come. We've got good people out there that are willing to take a stance. Kerry McFadden, I see him show up all the time too. He's another one that just puts it out there. He's tired of listening to it too. Yeah. And so slowly we're gaining more and more people. I know there's a lot of people who are watching who are afraid to come forward or afraid to do anything. Well, here, go test your water, send it to me privately. I will take off your name and everything, and we will just keep you private.
Yeah.
But I just need people to get involved.
Yeah, we'll help people out. I get people that contact me. I talk to probably. Oh, I can tell you right now. Hold on 1 second. Let me go back to my phone. I talk to probably.
Yeah, why did the employees get paid a 4-day weekend instead of a 3? So, Carrie, you caught on late. Because this is a non-election year, they get 2 extra holidays in the year to make up for those 2 days they would be off for the primary and the general.
That's totally
so they attach that somewhere in this whole holiday rotation, and this is one of the ones that they decided to have a 4-day weekend. instead of a 3-day weekend.
So I talked to 13 different people today. I might talk to more people than that, but I talked to 13 different people that I've never talked to before, or maybe I've talked to a couple of them a couple times, but these people are fairly new people calling me, and they all called on different things. It wasn't all about water. It wasn't all about Muncie. It wasn't all about Madison County. It was various things. I had some of them called me about the state. Some of them called me about what's going on in Blackford County. Some of them called me about Winchester. And a couple people called me about Newcastle stuff. And I had a couple people call me about some stuff going on here in Muncie. And then I don't know if I said the stuff at the State House. They called me about that. And of those 13 people, all of them said, hey, I really am banking on you to like not burn me. And I'm like, no, half of you, I don't even know your name.
Right.
And the other half of you, I don't burn people. That's the one thing that you can go back and you can watch every single episode. I have never come forward. I've come forward with a lot of information. I've never released anybody's information unless, even when I know somebody probably is okay with it. Like the other day when we were watching the thing from Blackford County, the girl that videoed that video of those cars going down that County Road 500 in Blackford County, the girl that videoed those cars, she videoed it and she put it on Facebook, so social media, and it was put on there as public and people were sharing it. So she had no expectation of privacy at that point. She put it on there with her name. It was out there, but because I didn't specifically ask her, I didn't release her name. Now, I did before I went live, and she didn't get a hold of me. While we were live, she did get a hold of me. She said, yeah, I don't care if you tell people it was me. I don't need credit for it, so you don't have to go back and be like, it's not like I'm stealing it from her. She didn't care either way. But I will not burn people. Catherine's the same way. So if you are interested in getting involved or whatever, but you're afraid, or, you want to do this, but you don't want your name on stuff, you can get a hold of us. Now, I also want to say this. Because there are people out here, and I have to caution people, because sometimes there are people, and I mean no offense to anybody when I say this, but they feel like you're sitting home watching this, and you watch this night after night after night. And my hope is that we're doing this in a way that is educational and it's entertaining and there's some fun and we make you mad and you learn and you listen all in one. I want you to feel like we are friends and you're friendly and we're friendly or whatever. But at the same time, you have to understand it's me talking. When I do this, I'm talking directly to you, but I'm talking to all of you. And so I will get people who will call me and they will put expectations on me. They want me to like answer a phone straight away, or they want me to text back right away, or this. And I'm like, look, I'm dealing with 35 different things right now. It's no offense. Just sometimes I need time to just breathe. And so we will get to you. I will always get to your stuff. You can help me. I'll help you. I love people contacting me. I have people that are like, man, your phone's going all the time. And it is. And there are sometimes like, what day did we take off? Monday or Tuesday when we took off, I was like on an overload and my head was killing me. And I just shut the phone off. And I don't hardly ever do that. But, when I get it back on, I'll get a hold of you. But the reason I'm telling you that is there are people out there that need help and we will help you, but sometimes it takes a second. So just breathe, because we will help.
And we're trying to help the whole community.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And this is really what your elected officials are supposed to be.
Right.
I mean, what we're doing is, and here's, what amazes me, Christopher? This is what amazes me. So Nicole came over to my office the other day, needed something, right? And we sit there and people are like, you need to get a job. You need to get a life. So Nicole walks in there. She's like, holy cow. I'm like, I'm really busy during the day. I mean, even though I'm posting stuff, believe me, I am like, it's crazy in my office. The phone never stops ringing and the people are coming in the door. And when we get the walk-ins, and it's completely fine. I mean, I love being busy and I'm glad that people come to us, but I really do have a real life outside of this. Now, this is Kristopher's life. This is his real job. So, but there's only so much we can do. And we got to have
so
more
many hours
people
in the day
come forward and help with all of this.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Yeah. We don't mind doing it, but now we're asking for your help. And it's as simple as, can you please test your water?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Go to meetings and get involved.
Go to meetings, get involved, stand up, be heard. Listen,
share the show.
If you're on share the show. If you're on Facebook Live and I see you going to jail and you haven't done anything wrong, I will come and bail you out. I have no problem doing that. As long as you're being a decent human being and you're, somewhat respectful, I don't have a problem. I mean, if you're cussing and swearing and acting like a moron, then I guess you deserve to go where you go. But if you're up there just being, very direct and black and white, have at it. I'll be right down to bail you out.
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing. If somebody truly has a hardship and you really want to get your water tested, if I have the means to help you, I am happy to do that. I mean, I can't do like 1,000 of them or anything, but I am never going to let somebody really struggle out there who just needs their water tested. So I do know $35 is a lot of money for people right now.
That is true.
It really is. And it's because these elected officials keep gouging us on taxes and everything else. So, and no, I'm not beating up on the smokers, but if you can afford to buy those cigarettes, you can afford to test your water. Just saying. I love you all, and I'm okay if you smoke because it's good job security for me. But I just want you to know, and it's the same thing if you can buy pop, you can test your water. Just saying, okay? So I'm not beating up on just one person or anything like that. I don't want to see your acrylic nails, So that's just the story. And I don't wear acrylic nails, so I got nothing for you. So, but anyways, I do appreciate that everybody tuned in, everybody's listening. And I cannot thank everybody enough. If you have not shared the Facebook post to your page about the water, please share it and say your 2 cents. Ask people to get involved, and I know when you share my video, you can get some haters on your page. And all you need to say back to them is just message me when you get your water tested. Say nothing more than that. So that's what my thoughts are. There's a lot going on. Tuesday is the Madison County Council meeting. For anybody who is interested in the Madison County meeting, it's at 6:00. The only person who looks like they're asking for money is the sheriff. And will he get the money he needs? People, he's running a jail. They've got an influx of people. They won't give him bulletproof vests. So this is unbelievable, but you'll give $100,000 for Gardner to rehab a building that you have no use for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me, people. And so hopefully we'll be able to support our officers who keep us safe. And the biggest thing I want to say about that, whether you like police officers or not, at the end of the day, those people have no idea if they're coming back home tonight.
Yeah.
So we do need to give them a little bit of latitude. I understand that all of them are honest. We have to believe and have faith in them. And we have to keep them safe. So that's my soapbox. What I'm not going to do for my officers, I'm not going to serve them any water. That's how I'm going to keep my officers safe.
Yeah, right. No water for you. Well, very good, Katherine. I appreciate you coming on as always. Have a happy 4th of July with the family. Go do something with your daughters. And whatever.
All right. Well, we'll keep you posted on what goes on.
Korean American activities you guys get into.
Well, my brother's already sent me pictures from Washington, D.C. telling us happy birthday. Cause I'm like, whose birthday is it? Nobody in the family has a birthday. Well, he's telling us happy birthday from Washington, D.C. and all the fireworks displays that are going off. So, happy birthday to America tomorrow. And may we all be grateful
No
for the freedoms
kings.
we have. Huh?
No kings.
No kings?
No, no kings.
So,
and
yes, they have started on the chapel. Yes, they have started on the chapel. They just haven't fixed the clock tower yet.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Tweety Bird, hey, it's going to keep it alive because I'm scared. Worst thing in the world is running out of water. That is my biggest fear. If I'm just not close enough to bottle water, I start freaking out. So, I'm aware that.
And I want everybody to know that Katherine is cheap.
Yeah.
And she will drink water out of the tap because she's cheap like that. Christopher's rich. He has bottled water. But Katherine's just like all you people here on the show. I'm just a good old, let's drink some tap water. Hey, you know what my favorite thing to do was when I was a little kid? I was raised in a trailer park, right? And we had a trailer. We were poor, right? And so we'd get that orange juice glass bottle with that little tin on it. And when we would fill it up with water, and we'd come in from it being a hot day and we'd drink that water. And I always hated filling that up because it was just so heavy to put back in the refrigerator. And I couldn't reach the sink and I couldn't get up there, right? And you just see that little bit of water there and you'd hope somebody else would fill it and it didn't get filled. And then you're like bummed out. But anyways, those are the times I remember with drinking my water in the trailer park. No such thing as bottled water.
Yeah, well...
So
no, I don't drink or smoke. So I got tattoos.
There you go. I don't have any tattoos.
You don't have any?
No, because in our culture, tattoos are a sign of gangs.
Koreans? Thailand? What are I? Listen, I jokingly.
It's the white flag with the red dot on it, Christopher.
Nazis? Japan. I
forgot. So, people watch this for entertainment.
One of these days, I'm going to tell everybody. Well, hopefully in a couple days, I'll be able to tell you something about Japan, but I can't tell you yet.
Okay.
So,
I like surprises.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Christopher and his water bottles. That's exactly what he is. I'm poor.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe you don't have any tattoos. I've got 13 tattoos.
No.
That's hard to believe, isn't it? I don't look like a tattoo person. You can't hardly see them. They're all covered except, I've got this one. I've got this one.
The one thing that when I go to the nursing home,
this one.
Yeah. I ask all the time. I'm like, if you had life to do over again, what would you do differently?
And what do they say?
Well, why didn't you get Ernie on the other side? You got Bert on one side.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. I don't
What was that? What's that?
is that the British flag?
Yeah.
What's your problem? Why don't you get like a Japanese flag?
Yeah, I'm gonna get one on my ankle.
And get Katherine right underneath it.
Right.
But Nicole got a beautiful one on her arm. I saw that today. But that's the whole thing is I love tattoos because it was easy to identify bodies.
Yeah, right.
It was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly.
Yes. Yeah, that's very true. I've only got one of my. Well, I got two of them I need to get covered up. Two of them. I've got to get that one right here covered up because I got.
Is it a girl?
An ex-wife.
Yeah. See, what people kill me. I mean, I think to myself, why would you brand yourself? I got a cow prodder out there. I'll just put it right on your rear end. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. Yes.
So this is exciting times for all of us. We're going to see a big change coming up. I think 26, we're going to see some big changes in elections. I think the people are tired of it.
I can feel it. It's coming.
New people running. I think this is going to be a great thing.
We are going to have a weird election over here.
I bet it's not weirder than Madison County.
No, it's going to be real active. We're going to have a very active. It's going to be probably one of the most active local elections.
I think we're going to have that too, because people are
Probably
tired
since
of the cheating over here.
2019.
So it'll
Yep.
be interesting to see if Linda can win again. Angie Abel, I mean, she's a puppet. It'll be interesting. Olivia Pratt is another puppet. I mean, there's a lot of players. You know, I hear that Steele's not going to run again. Likens isn't going to run again. I mean, so this could be a real interesting 26 over here too.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's never too late for Grabowski to resign.
True that.
Just do something better, because she seems like a nice enough person, but she's not doing it.
She just seems very uncomfortable pushing back.
Yeah.
So
Stumblefoot. I got a couple. My daughter got a text today asking her to rate her opinion of the Democratic Party. What, locally or state or federally, or just all as a whole bunch?
Oh, look at that. They shared it on X.
Well, thank you. Which one, Kay? Local, state, or national? Oh, and there was a big filing today. There was a filing today in the lawsuit between Union Schools and the state of Indiana. I haven't gotten all the way through it. It's very weird. It's filed from behalf of the attorneys representing the state, and it's weird what they're saying. I got to read through it, and I've got to. One of the things about me having been in law enforcement, working at the prosecutor's office, I've been around, and then being through the legal system and having several lawsuits here in the last several years. I have a fair understanding of the legal system and of civil and criminal filings. So I have a pretty good understanding of what it's saying, but I need to talk to one of my legal eagles to get an understanding of what the hell's going on here. So we'll talk about that Sunday. I might pop on tomorrow evening from the car. I did last year. I did that last year from up around fireworks time, if you guys remember that. So if you're on, you're on. If not, it won't be anything big, but I'll let you guys know. So,
and I just want you to know, Andrew Hanna is going to announce, which he's already announced, that he's running for prosecutor. And I just want everybody to know that he's going to do it on a day that they're supposed to be in the office. And I am sick and tired of watching these fundraisers go on during a normal business day. And then I have to watch the prosecutors come up to the podium and say, we're so behind in our cases.
Yeah,
right. We're backlogged. We just can't, we don't have enough people. Well, you know what? Maybe if you didn't take that day over there and go on a Saturday or Sunday and have your golf outing rather than do it during an actual day. So I got a problem with that. I mean, I'm just going to tell you that to me, that's ghost employment. I don't care if you took a vacation day or not. Because I can tell you not all of you took a vacation day and you guys are getting paid to go out there and then they're giving you money. No, that is corruption and that is wrong.
Yeah. That is weird, K-Mama. Yeah, that is very strange. Look at this. This Megan's wanting these files. I will get them to you. I've still got over half of them to scan. I'll get them to you directly. And directly means sometime between now and probably Saturday, but I will get them to you. So it's I'm getting there. I have a list of things to do, and sometimes I'll get halfway through one of them and then I move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
It's very disorganized.
Something comes up. Listen, it was not even on my radar to go do a Facebook Live today.
All right.
Not even on my radar. I was coming home to take a nap.
Yeah.
So yeah,
all right.
We better go check out those machines. You're right. I'm telling you, those machines are being manipulated.
Yeah, it's nuts. I don't know what you're saying. I can scan for you. I don't know how you can scan for me when the documents are physically in my house right here now.
She's going to come over and be your secretary.
And get the hell out of here. All right. Thank you all very much. Have a good 4th of July. I might be on tomorrow. Watch for social media. If you want to catch that, if we do pop on, the only way you'll know is if you subscribe and click the bell. So we'll be able to do that. Hit the thumb on the way out. If you haven't already, give us a like. We'd appreciate it. Other than that, if we're not live tomorrow, or if we are, either way, we will be back Sunday. I'll be back Sunday. Hopefully Kate gets back. I don't really know what's going on or where she's at or what's happening there, but we'll try to figure it out. Hopefully she's not hostage or something. So I'll let you know. You guys take care. God bless. Have a good evening. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.